We have a viewer from Hastings who wants to know whether the panel favors term limits. Well, if you're going to have term limits, that would, of course, require a constitutional amendment. And I'm going to broaden the question a little bit. I think the viewer's question is certainly a valid one and one worth talking about. But let's talk about constitutional amendments generally, because this is the year that they more typically appear to go on the ballot in November. So term limits specifically, and more generally, is there anything else in the hopper? So we start with you, Representative Murphy.
Sure. I am not a fan of term limits because I have a lot of faith in the voters, and it's up to them. And I also think over time it concentrates power in the wrong place, not in people who are elected, but instead the people who are working there. And so it's up to the voters. They should make the choice. Not a giant fan of constitutional amendments. They play a role. We're contemplating one this session that deals with campaign finance and making sure that dark money that is coming into our campaigns is made transparent, and asking the voters that question. I think that's important to our small d democracy. The amount of money that is coming in, particularly to the targeted races, is growing, and it's growing significantly. It's coming from different places. Some of it's reported, some of it's not. I'm really concerned about that because it's drowning out the voices of our candidates in many cases. When $1 billion is spent on a House race in St. Cloud, it is hard for someone who can spend up to $60,000 to compete with that. And we got to right-size that. So that's a question I think we could put to the voters. It's one that I'd be interested in doing.
Senator Hoffman, constitutional amendments, term limits specifically.
It's a deep layered question. You know, those that you're looking at a structure here in Minnesota, especially on the Senate. Now that Jim is part of the Senate, it's all you even mentioned it the other day. It's all seniority based. You know, when it comes to who picks what, who gets what. You got some concerns out there, and Representative Murphy brings it up. Unless we can control, especially in those that outside dark money that's coming in on both sides of the aisle, right? Nobody's immune to this piece. That's really the bigger issue. It's not so much about the term limits, but if you don't start controlling how money's being spent to the left or to the right or whoever, and because for every lit piece I put out there, there's going to be 8 that are either for or against me on that. And so you're right. We end up getting lost in all that discussion, the mire of the noise limit that's up there. So if you're going to look at term limits, you better fix the whole system. It's kind of like the gear program on your phones now. You got to get this gear moving. If you don't get this gear, if you don't think about this one over here, about connecting those in order to get it, then the system's not going to be fixed, Barry.
Do you see any other constitutional amendments other than the campaign finance one that's been discussed?
I think the one about pay raises, you know, folks around the table, I think the one is to let the people. I think
that's already on the ballot.
That's already on there, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
It was passed not maybe 2 years. Help me with this. 2 years ago, maybe I think. But anyway, it was put on the November 2016 ballot.
Yep, that's correct. And you know, I think if you're anybody to do constitutional amendments, it should be about our rights as individual citizens. It's really expanding those rights. It shouldn't be anything that's going to put curtailing our rights to do it. So. That's
Senator Abler, constitutional amendments, term limits specific.
So it's about gears. I'm trying to figure out that gear thing.
I'll show you. It's
and term limits. And people talk about 4 years or something. In my 13th year, I became the chairman for I had the first real committee in my time, and it was the Health and Human Services Finance in a time of a $6 billion deficit. And the topic is so complex. I think people were glad that I was there in my 13th year, which is longer than anybody's term limit number, where I got to take all that I knew and anguish for 4 months with the help of people at this table, and put our heads to that. And I think that the people who favor term limits need to remember what Representative Murphy mentioned about if there's less seniority in the elected members, then the staff runs things, and the institutional knowledge becomes the staff's, and they tell the members what they can't do. And so I just want to.
So I'm just going to interrupt you there.
Yeah.
Do you see any other constitutional amendments than the ones that have been discussed that might be anything else that's out there that you know?
No,
of?
sorry.
How about you, Representative Dean? Constitutional amendments and term limits generally.
Well, in the last 5 elections, the majority in the Minnesota House has changed 4 times. So the The voters in the House are pretty good.
Don't we know it?
Don't we know it?
Don't we know that?
Really?
Pretty good at terming limits of people. And,
No long-term leases? Is that
no,
kind of how that works?
no, and we were just
Back and forth,
I was
back
just
and
out in with a legislator, and they were asking him why he didn't take the insurance through the state, and he said I don't have that kind of job security. So that's basically kind of what we have.
Do you see any other constitutional amendments, or we're just about out of time in the last 30 seconds or so?
I think the nationally, the Convention of the States to have a balanced budget amendment at the national level is one that interests me. At the state level, folks are talking about eliminating the auditor's office. So I find that one interesting. I don't know if that one will get on there or not.